Hi, this is Hart of the Disabled Artist Foundation, and what you currently have are two screenshots. One is from overhead and one is in front. Essentially, what I want to show you are all of the tools and then get to stitching. I am the founder of the Disabled Artist Foundation, so every time I try a type of art or complete a type of art, I want to think about how I can make it easier for them. I personally love the medieval style binding, but today I decided let's go ahead and do it in such a way that would be easy for people with dexterity challenges and get a similar look and feel. What you'll need is wax thread, or actually you can use any kind of thread. It doesn't need to be wax thread. It's just this allows it to tangle a little bit less for you. This is a small version of a hacksaw, an awl, scissors, a bone folder, a couple of pieces of fabric. They don't have to be identical. They're similar in size. So you'll be stitching around in the book block here, if that makes sense. I always have a pen and a Sharpie nearby just in case I need it. This will be my upholstery needle that I'll be using. I always have washi tape. Let me tell you what I've done so far off camera. So I've cut these two strips. They happen to be just short of 6 inches long, and the width is about 1 inch to 1.5 inches wide. I've taken all of my papers and I've cut them down to 8.5 by 11. Many of them were much bigger than that. And then in some cases, you might have a piece in here, that is smaller. Like this one right here is smaller. Okay. I did make sure that I have them all right side up or upside down. So let me get to the map page. This way is right side up. And this is what my book block is eventually going to look like. And keep in mind that when I grab from my book block, I'm grabbing from here. So this is the bottom. Okay, so it'll look like this when I'm done. I like to organize my pages on something that looks like this, but you don't have to. It also allows me to crimp this very close together and sew in my stitches, and this is what that looks like here. So here's the sharp side, and this is where I'm going to saw like you would if you were sawing a tree, except I try to keep it level. I did use a mark to mark the 4 spots I wanted after laying this down. Let me pull 1 yard of this off. A little extra because that's just what I do. This I chose as the outside because I know my washi tape is going to come off pretty easily when I'm done. So I'm doing 2 washies because I do tug on this a bit, I know myself. Try to keep it square. Okay, and that's it. So I'm going to fold it over, and what makes this special is we're going to go in on the top through both pieces of paper, and now you see why I'm starting from the outside and then coming to the inside. And now you see why I gave you 2 viewpoints, because sometimes you'll be blocked whichever way I choose. I'm going to leave a little bit of this right here for me to tie a knot when I'm done. So it's just going to sit right there. And watch how easy this is going to be. You're going to get a good giggle out of this. Then what you're going to want to do is have 2 needles and 2 pieces of thread. Okay, so now I'm just going to tie this in a square knot. Over, under, under, over. Oh, it was tight. If you're worried about it, you can do it all different kinds of ways, but that's fine. I'll put a third there. Over, under, under, over. Okay, and trim off the excess. And then I need another yard of this white thread. 2 threads, 2 needles, 2 cotton ribbons. Let's hope I can get that through there without making a ruckus. There we go. I'm going to keep this needle over on the right and this one on the left. Okay, I'm going to start from the outside. We'll do the same thing. Make sure I make it through both pieces of paper. I think I just bumped the camera. Sorry about that. Okay, don't forget, we want to tape this down because we're going to tie it in a knot. You can probably tie a tighter knot than I can. It doesn't matter. Just do yourself a favor and make sure that it's a knot that's not going to come undone, because that'll just make you mad. Okay, I'm going to go. I came in from the outside to the bottom hole, and I'm going into the second from the bottom and pulling it through. If you make your holes big enough, you don't even need a needle, but it's all up to you. Now I'm going to tie this in a knot. Now look how this tiny piece is. I put that in here just to show you guys, and I put washi tape on it just to keep my holes aligned. Oops, what am I doing? There we go. I am tempted to do a medieval style journal with the twine and everything, but without the ropes, it's too fiddly for my brain. I meant without the board to hold the ropes taut. You can see why having taut ropes makes a huge difference on keeping everything nice and clean as you wrap around. I'm gonna leave that there. Oh, nope, I'll take it off before it gets too sticky. Oh, look at that. Always be careful which ones you put it on, because some of them do not like to be touched. And now remember, we always go to the bottom here. I have 1 sheet for the bottom, and then because it's a smaller piece of paper, and then 2 sheets to come out of for the second hole. Next one. Okay, and trim that little bit of excess. I should have everything I need now. So do you see how they, oh, look how loose that is. No giggling, no giggling. That's fine. We're not going to worry about it. Maybe I'll tie something to that string on the inside to make it less loose. So now you're like, well, what do we do? Check this out. It's so easy. This is not going to take very long at all. Lay it over the top. Make sure you have your top up. Then you want to come in, go through both sheets. The rest is easy peasy. I want to go into hole 2 and out of hole 2. From the inside to the outside. Now, Do you kind of get the gist of what you're doing? You never want to tug out perpendicular to your paper. You want to tug down to make it tighter, okay? So you're tugging it down to make it tighter each time you make your little spot. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing on the bottom. This is going to come unthread all day long, okay? So think of it as working from the outside in. Now you'll notice that I chose papers that are all completely different. I have hand-painted papers, music pages, hand-dyed papers. They're all works of art from individuals or that I've purchased over the years. Okay. So literally, look how easy that was. We're just going around in circles. Okay.
I cut out where I stitched a whole bunch of these pages in to reduce the length of what you have to watch.
Yeah, I think I'll leave this one off. Finish with this one. Uh-oh. Ooh, I can't have two graph paper next to each other. That's going to change. Okay, now I'm going to come back around and tighten everything up. And I'm just going to flip through with you. So essentially this is what it looks like on the spine. And so because of my love of paper, I'm going to walk you through in a slow motion of what this whole thing is. Ready? So this is a scrapbook paper, resume paper, map page from an atlas, a special kind of graph paper. You have a very thick cut down scrapbook paper, hand painted page, both sides, one's just more vibrant than the other, hand dyed paper, cardstock. This is velvet with like a black, almost linen feel to the backside. This is braille. Scrapbook paper, that's cardstock. Hand-dyed paper. Scrapbook paper, that's cardstock. Okay, scrapbook paper, that's a little lighter than cardstock. Cardstock. Hand-dyed dictionary page. Hand-dyed paper. Deli paper. Scrapbook paper. That's cardstock. Regular, oh nope, that's mixed media paper. Resume paper. Linen paper. You can see that it's backed with something. Cardstock. That's that linen. This is a bag folded in half. They're all folded in half. A doily. Cardstock. Which looks like music paper but isn't. The other side of the doily. Avocado dyed paper. Cardstock. I don't know how they dyed this paper, but this is just a work of art, how they did this one with the dots. Very old 1970s transfer paper or tracing paper. Hand painted paper. Music from Sonata. And then the last page, scrapbook paper and a yellow copy paper that's kind of flimsy. And that's everything. And the reason I did this kind of paper is because if someone chooses to take off the washi, it should be fine. But when you put it in a book block, this is the last page and this is the first page. So it looks nice on both sides. I mean, when you put it inside of a book cover. If you really are worried about the edges, you would sand the edges, but these are pretty tight. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right, I hope that was fun. Take care.